big as the best one you ever had. I didn't end up being able to go.
We've had investigations, haven't we, where we've been and you don't get anything. And I mean, it's not necessarily the people who obviously have the house have obviously got a genuine problem going on because they're experiencing it over, say, months and months.
Yeah.
But we go for one night and it's not necessarily going to happen to us there and then. You can't predict it.
And I think sometimes people get disheartened in us because they're expecting us to find something.
So we're all in agreement that 3 story is the best one.
Yeah.
If we can't really talk about that because obviously it's personal. Yeah. It's personal things that were going off in that particular house. But if we put that one,
they were basically determined that the house
was haunted,
aside, and there was nothing that we were saying
to prove that
even if we sat down and went, your house isn't haunted, we haven't found anything. It's the 3rd time, 4th time we've been blah de blah. You still couldn't turn them to say, okay, fair enough, there is something obviously else, whatever, and that's what the problem was with it, weren't it?
But if you put that one aside because of personal issues that were involved with it, I think worst one then is Convicts Tunnel.
Yeah, I don't like... I don't know, because I thought Ward's End were a bit set.
I've just been racking my brain.
Crap.
Ward's End were a bit terrible.
We went on Halloween as well, didn't we?
And thinking about what investigations we've done, I'm probably missing quite a few off for it. So if it's a really, really bad one, you're not going to remember it, are you, really?
We've done quite a lot, haven't we?
We have done absolutely loads.
Ward's End Cemetery, we went there because it was so hyped up, weren't it?
Well, we're like a certain church, don't we?
Yeah.
We're like a certain cemetery. Because if I say it that way, you know which is which.
I mean, what we're going on about is we'll put up certain locations, like obviously Wunwell Woods, blah blah blah, but there's places that we are trying to limit to basically other paranormal teams going to the locations and flooding it with whatever, so we kind of keep certain locations, undisclosed locations is how we describe them, just so that it's a little bit more unique what we get. And I mean, a couple of the undisclosed locations I've had whispers in ears, we've had all sorts of
lights when we went.
Yeah.
See, my whole theory on that though is it's a case if they don't know what a paranormal team is, they're more likely to come near you, whereas if there's multiple paranormal teams going every week, you're just going to get fed up. If you were a ghost, you'd be like, here we go again,
here we go again.
Yeah, K2's that, yeah, we know how we're doing this, touch it, blah blah blah, and all this kind of stuff, so, I don't know.
Entertainment for a bit.
Just because we go to a location once and get something, and don't get something, should I say, doesn't mean we won't go back.
Yeah, I mean, like Wunwell Woods, like Convicts Tunnel in Wunwell, we've been 3 or 4 times, haven't we?
And every time we haven't got, have we?
Not even K2, not even nothing. It don't even feel funny.
The house on corner's more scary.
Yeah. It's like I do usually, like all research and stuff, don't I, when it comes to, like, Kelly and Robert and Connor are obviously the medium side of stuff, and when we do the after part of it, where it's the history and stuff like that, Convicts Tunnel, there's no evidence to it actually being a convict's tunnel being done like that. Yeah. It's a tunnel in a woods that people think is a bit freaky. That's about it.
Let's face it,
a lot of people, but can I just say that people tend to say that Wunwell Woods is quite haunted, and we've been through Middle of Woods.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't like to do it on my own.
The only thing that scared us were a toad hopping through a bush.
Yeah. I mean, it's a place that you wouldn't like to walk through on your own on a night.
But that's because of the people that could be in it.
Yeah.
It's not
It's the
necessarily
living
because
aspect,
of
isn't it?
paranormal.
Yeah.
It's the living rather than the dead.
And that was the same with General Cemetery.
Yeah.
I think was a lot to do. It was the same type of thing. You didn't know.
See, I don't usually, like on investigations, I don't usually jump out my skin. I mean, Rob's jumped out his skin before when we were in that private house and the beer can behind you and stuff. And it does it does catch you, doesn't it? Every so often you'll get a thing where, like, I'm a bouncer and I deal with idiots at all the time, but you'll get a thing where you'll hear something and it'll suddenly move or whatever, and you'll hit the roof. You'll hit the roof, and it's like when we did it in Sheffield General, and it did it in front of me, I heard footsteps and I heard it go bang 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 towards me, at which point I've gone like that thinking something were coming at me, and there was nothing there. And you just feel like an idiot after it. You just kind of like, everyone else is stood behind you, jumped in air as well, and you're stood there in combat mode thinking, there's no ear. What's that? But yeah.
I think my favourite place though would have probably been Oaks Colliery.
We got some good stuff from Oaks though, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've had a few different bits and bobs. Yeah.
Not good EPVs, and that boulder,
that breeze block thing.
that breeze block thing.
Appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah. We did actually. When we first
that.
got there, and it was the first ever one, weren't it? We did like a preliminary walk round of the site, and did we record it the first time we went round?
No.
I don't think
No,
we
what
did.
we
Just
just
walked around it, and we
Is
just
that
went
where-
to see. We just went to
It was
basically
early
check
days
it
that,
out.
wasn't it?
It was
Very
to the
early
back
days
of it, and
first
as we
around.
walked round it, on the right hand side there was a patch of grass, and it was open grass, weren't it?
Mm.
And no
We
one
actually
usually.
commented on the
well,
fact
it was
of
well
how
kept.
clean and that there was nothing on this grass
Yeah.
at all. And we walked round and come back round and there's a great big boulder
It was
just
like
in the middle and it's
A
like.
it was.
But you would have heard that drop.
It
If
was an
someone
old,
made a drop
like-
that you'd have heard it.
Like a white
if it
breeze block,
fell.
wasn't
It was like old stone, weren't it? Like
Yeah.
the big massive stone things.
But like when we turned it over, didn't we? Grass just bounced straight back up and it
Yeah.
wasn't dead or anything or discoloured.
Whereas
No.
if it had been there a long time, the grass would have
If
just
it had
killed
been
it.
something that we'd not noticed, when
We'd
we
have tagged
turned
it,
it
wouldn't we, on
over,
walk
the
round.
grass had either been yellow or there'd been no grass there at all because it had died off.
It was the
completely.
same night though that we got that Edward, weren't it?
Mm.
We got someone saying Edward on an
Edward
EVP.
My mum on.
And then after it was Connor. Connor brought a book home about Oaks from college, weren't it, or something?
From school.
And it actually said that
We
the
gave a list basically of everybody
victims,
who
weren't it?
victims at main mining disaster.
and the last two that went in, it was a John, Edward, Mamon, and
Yeah.
you could hear something before it said Edward, but we couldn't make it out at the
Okay.
time, and then after it was kind of
Edward Vermont.
obvious,
It was said
weren't
it
it?
really, really quick though,
Yeah.
didn't it? Edward Vermont.
But Oaks, I thought Oaks were alright. I mean, we've been back there
And
a
then
couple of
that's-
times. We went back on disaster day, didn't we?
Yeah, but
That's
we
stone
couldn't
as well.
do it properly because there was travellers
Mm.
just at the other
Just
side
that
of the
side,
field,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they can't go back on there now. So that's one that we can
Do
we
in
actually
future.
in this
When was the disaster? It's soon.
November, isn't it?
No, I think it's in December.
Oh yeah, it might be.
15th.
Because that same night we did
I thought it was November 15th.
cemetery, didn't we, in Barnsley?
Probably,
We got that tour around it,
That's
No,
true.
and then
Let's just.
that were a bit weird though.
retreat
That
on
because
one
like
then,
Yeah. You saw that, didn't you?
that were weird though, weren't it? Because the when we did that tour around that cemetery, the actual people who were in the disaster were actually buried there as well, and she showed us, didn't she?
I mean, it might seem like to you guys watching that we're having just sat here having a bit of a giggle, and you might think, oh well, if they're not taking this seriously, like having a bit of a laugh and a giggle, that we don't take as investigation
No, we do.
seriously. But we seriously do, and we've all got our own little jobs that we do in an investigation. You know, Jess seems to be and Kelly as well. As Kelly being up medium side, Jess and Kells tend to do a lot of EVP sessions together.
do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor and Jamie are equipment men, and
We're the tech geeks, aren't we?
Yeah.
tech geeks,
Yes, so
and then
I'm the one who forgets to charge the batteries.
yeah.
And
Don't
then
forget the tape.
like tonight, yeah. We go from the car to the location, quite a 5-minute, 10-minute walk.
Good 10, 15.
Try
I get
15
basic,
already.
because it was basically a preliminary walk round, weren't it? So I get basic stuff, get all the way up. Camcorder's got no tape in it. The batteries in the
RTVP.
RTVP are dead.
The batteries in the dialogue were dead.
Do you remember
Yeah.
what last thing you said before you walked out?
And I charged it
yesterday
all.
as well. It's all charged.
It is, it was all charged. But it
Yeah.
just has a tendency to do it to me though, doesn't it? To be fair. I mean,
No.
RTVP likes to play with me. I forget how to use that thing every time we go on an investigation.
That's the reason why these two normally do it.
Yeah. Spread the love.
But we've had
and all
we've had some strange things that we've not been able to account for. We none of us particularly like Rockley Furnace. We think it's not really anything there. But we did one night. We took somebody else with us on this particular night that's never been with us before.
It was cold though, weren't it?
It was
It
bitterly
was
cold.
Baltic.
So we actually took a portable gas heater so that we could keep warm in between doing us bits and bobs. And
we put it on a wooden bench stationary, didn't we?
Yeah, and it's just so we could keep going and warming his hands up, and
that one of the best ideas we had.
You know, just so that we could keep warm, keep his fingers going. But guess what?